A wonderful good morning to you, year fours. I hope you had a great weekend, relaxing, doing some fun things. I hope you use this time to be creative and not only spend lots of time on the screen or on tablets or on telephones. Create stuff, paint things. I would like to hear about it. Remember, I gave you my email address at the end of last week. So please write to me and, of course, send me your limerick poems. I would love to read them. Okay, let's have a look what we'll be doing this week. Our spelling this week will be the high frequency word sheets. We'll do 2 of those. Then we'll do the split vowel digraph A, E. And you will also be doing the long A vowel digraphs all put together, the AI, AY, and then the AE, where you're going to create your own word search. Then we'll be doing adverbs. We're going to do introduction to fiction and stories, and you're going to be listening to some stories. We're going to do phrasal verbs. We're going to look at the features of fiction or a story. And then we're going to talk in detail about story settings. And you're going to start by planning your own story setting. Okay, today's task 1, and this is what we'll be doing today. You'll have a starter activity of your high frequency words. Then we'll be learning about adverbs. And then you'll have an adverb worksheet. And you also have a very, very quick and easy task in your GDE book with adverbs. What have we learned so far this year of the parts of speech? We have learned about nouns. Nouns are the naming words for people, places, things, and animals. We learned about verbs. They are your doing words, the actions. If you write sentences, every sentence needs a verb, and when you speak, every sentence just has a verb. Then we learned about adjectives. Adjectives are your describing words. They describe the nouns and make nouns way more interesting. Then we learned about prepositions. As the words say, prepositions are the words that shows position in a sentence. Words such as behind the door, under the table, next to the tree. Then, just a little while ago, we did pronouns. Pronouns are short words that can replace the names of people or sometimes things. So we use words like he, she, we, they, or it. And today we're going to learn about adverbs. We know that nouns are the naming words for people, places, and things. So there you see children, park, and a hamburger. Adjectives modify nouns. So what does that mean? Modify means it changes the noun. It makes it more interesting for a reader, or it makes it more interesting when you speak. So there we modified the nouns. We wrote happy children, busy park, juicy hamburger. That gives you a clearer picture in your mind of what each of those nouns would look like or would be like. The relationship between nouns and adjectives are that adjectives make a noun better. It makes it more interesting when somebody is reading your stories or your sentences. So they're basically partners or friends. The same goes for verbs and adverbs. As you can see, adverbs, something is added to the verb to make it better. So you might be wondering, adverbs, what are they? Not heard of those before. So here we go. Adverbs modify verbs. And we've learned modify means change. It changes the verb. Okay, and your verb is, of course, your action word. Adverbs is going to tell us how you are doing something, where you are doing something, and when you will be doing it. So the first one we are talking about is adverbs of time. It answers to the question when. When or how often something happens. So look at these words: now, then, tomorrow, later, soon, always, never, sometimes, daily. Let me show you an example. The lady always cheers her kids. So the first thing we need to do is to find the verb in the sentence. Which word is the doing word? Yes, it's cheers. She is cheering her children. She cheers her kids. Now, which word there tells us when is she doing that? You are right. There's the word always. She always cheers her kids. Let's look at another example. The man is walking now. So what is the verb in that sentence? The doing word? Walking. Correct. Now, is there a word in the sentence that tells us when is he walking? Correct again. The man is walking now. The next adverb is the adverb of manner. It answers to the question of how. How an action happens. And there you see the words that we could possibly use. Carefully, fast, gently, slowly, beautifully, happily, sadly, softly, badly. You will notice that many of the how words has a ly added to it. It tells you how something is done. Let's look at an example. Chloe quickly walked across the street. Let's find the verb in that sentence, the action. That will be, of course, walked. So which word in that sentence tells us how she walked? Yes, it's the word quickly. Let's look at another example. Hanku sleeps peacefully on the couch. So first let's find the verb in that sentence. Yes, very easy, it sleeps. How is Hanku sleeping? He sleeps peacefully on the couch. Now we get another one, adverbs of place, and it answers to the question where. Where is something happening? And look at those words, around, nearby, outside, inside, here, there, down, far, near, or up. So let's see how we use them. Jandre had to walk far to pick a flower. So our verb in that sentence is walk, right? Now, does it tell us where he walked? Yes, he walked far. Okay, now far could sound to you as if it should have been a how, but far is where is it? It is far away, right? So he had to walk far to pick a flower. Danica was sitting inside the train waving to her friend. Now this sentence actually has two verbs, but let's focus on the first one. Danica was sitting. Where was she sitting? She was sitting inside the train, waving to her friend. Let's have a look at a few more examples of how adverbs are used in sentences. The keys to recognizing your adverbs is, first of all, you have to find the verb in your sentence, which of course is the action word. And then you ask yourself how, when, or where the action happened. So there we have it. The children played nearby their classrooms. So let's first find the verb, the action word. And that will be played, of course. Now, is there a word in the sentence that tells us how they played? Well, not really. Is there a word that tells us when? No, not either. Or is there a word that tells us where the action happened? Yes, it's telling us they were playing nearby their classrooms. Let's have a look at another one. Stephen carefully turned the pancake over. So, let's find our verb in that sentence. And yes, of course, you're very clever. It is turned. So, is there a word that tells us how he turned the pancake? Yes, carefully. He carefully turned the pancake over. Then our final sentence or example is one that has more than one adverb. So let's start. Let's find our verb first. And that will be planted. Yes, of course. Now, going to ask ourselves when or where the action or how the action happened. So let's look at the sentence again. Yesterday, we happily planted pretty flowers outside. How did you plant the flowers? Well, of course, happily. And then, when did it happen? It was yesterday. And then does it tell us where the action happened? Yes, it was outside. Can you see how adverbs made that sentence so much more interesting? Good. So your task 1 activities for today will be, you will do your high frequency worksheet. That will be on page 2 of the worksheet set. Then you have 2 adverbs activities. The one is a sorting activity. That's your worksheet page number 3, where you just sort the different words into how, when, where. And then in your GDE book on page 126 at the top, and then the whole of 127, there's adverb activities where you have to find the adverbs. And then I please would like you to read page 48 and 49 for today.